I'm going to go with you. You're going to be the caboose today. And I mean that in all the best ways.
Well, thank you. It seems like Abba wants us really to know today who we are in Him. 1 Corinthians 4 says, "You have become kings, and that all without us. How I wish that you really have become kings, so we might be kings with you together." 2 Peter, "But you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood." So we know we're kings and priests, we're royalty. Then we go to Revelation 5, and the English version translates it like that. "You have made them to be a kingdom and priest to serve our God. They will reign upon the earth." But when you look in Greek, it says actually something slightly different. It says, "You have made them to be kings and priests to serve our God, and they reign upon the earth." So that means we are already kings and priests, and we are already supposed to be walking in that calling. We're supposed to function in that calling. We're supposed to reigning and ruling with Messiah today already, not tomorrow, not in 1,000 years, today. We really need to realize who we are. And I don't know, for years I have struggled myself with that idea. How can I be, especially being a woman and being raised in church and, always told, you're a woman, you have to be quiet, you can't say nothing, and you cannot really serve Him except serving your husband and your children. But then realizing, hold on a second, He called all of us to be a kingdom of priests. That includes me too. That includes Amy, that includes Beth, that includes everyone. We're all kings and priests, and we're supposed to serve in that capacity. And we're not serving just each other. We didn't come to see each other today, right? We came to see Him. We came to serve Him. And as kings and priests, that's our obligation. We are servants of the Most High, and then of each other. And then that's how we're supposed to walk. That's how we're supposed to function. That's what functioning in my purpose means to me. We are already kings, and we're supposed to walk that way. And then the second thing that I wanted to share is, you talked about pruning this morning. I've been raised in church, never understood the pruning. For years, I've been asking Abba, show me what this pruning is all about. How is it working? And then a few years back, we got a property, and a neighbor of ours came and said, "You have grapes on the property." "Where?" "There's no grapes." Well, it was in a rough shape. It needed lots of cleaning. And as we were cleaning, we discovered the grapes. They were muscadines. Very old, established grapes. But nobody has done anything to those grapes in years. These branches grew, I don't know how many feet, Wally? 25, 50 feet? Into the trees. Nobody has pruned them ever. There was a grape here, a grape there, maybe a grape down there, but they really were not producing any fruit. But we had 3 long rows of grapes that did not produce any fruit. And so we started pruning. And for the first time in my life, it finally clicked. Well, if He doesn't prune me or us, we're gonna be like those grapes. We're gonna ensnare everything around us and choke everything to death, but will not produce any fruit. Those muscadines were ensnaring all the trees around them, and all of the trees were dying, literally dying. The muscadines were green. They had long, nice branches, no fruit. But all of the trees around them were dying because they were literally choking the life out of these trees. But when we started pruning, we started to see something different. The first year after the pruning, now the pruning was heartbreaking. Those grapes were weeping for days. And I mean, you could literally see tears dropping to the floor. It was heartbreaking to see that. But what happened the year after was all of the grapes were covered in fruit. And you started seeing trees recovering around them. You started seeing all of these oak trees, beautiful, beautiful oak trees, all of a sudden have leaves. They turned green all of a sudden again. They had life in them again, just because somebody took the shears and said, enough is enough. We're gonna prune this nonsense and we're gonna take care of this now. And the muscadines produced fruit. So all of a sudden it started clicking. Hold on a second. If he prunes me, he prunes us. We will be producing fruit. We will be walking like the kings and the priests, like he called us to be. And we will stop choking the light out of everybody around us. We will be walking like him. But we have to allow him to do the surgery, and it's gonna be painful.
Amen. Growth is good, but if it doesn't produce the fruit, then it really doesn't serve a purpose. So thank you, Tina. I appreciate that. I want to say this as well to something you said. You know, when I hear the term royalty, we're royalty. You know, we need to be reminded that it might be this way in other cultures, but in a biblical culture, royalty, it doesn't mean privilege. It's not synonymous with privilege. Royalty is synonymous with responsibility. And so as kings and priests, or royal priesthood, we have a responsibility. What is that function? To show forth the praises of him who has called us out of darkness into his marvelous light. We have a responsibility.